Hi, everybody. We are live for a special Light the Torch edition. This is going to be for my unforgettable personal stories that inspire. And this book has a very unique group of women in it from all different perspectives, different parts of the world, sharing their unique, unforgettable personal journeys, how they change their lives, how they can help you change your life, and how sometimes when you don't expect what's going to happen, it ends up being a blessing anyways. And I think a lot of us probably need to hear that message. I know I'm in Florida about to deal with a very big storm. I know there's a lot of people in the South that just dealt with big storms that were unpredictable on their lives. And so they need some hope and some guidance on how to handle those unexpected things that might happen to us all and how we deal with those changes and adapt and switch. So, each one of these women are going to share a little bit about who they are, why they decided to write in this book, and a little bit about their chapter. So, I am going to get started with Jessica. Jessica, you want to introduce yourself to everyone who's listening?
Sure. Good morning. My name is Jessica Renfeld, and I am a life and resilience coach, an inspirational speaker, a survivor, and now a published author, which I'm so excited about.
Yay!
So, I actually survived terminal illness, a stroke, and a heart transplant.
Wow.
And healing from tragedies like that can be incredibly difficult, but I really chose to embrace gratitude and find things that brought me joy. And I ended up actually using fly fishing as a modality for healing. And I found that there's so many things with fly fishing that replicate other things in the world, like slowing down, being in the moment, having patience, having focus, having goals. And so I wrote a chapter all about healing with fly fishing. And I've loved the opportunity, and I'm really excited to share this story. And I've read the other women's stories, and I'm excited that it's getting out in front of other people.
Yes. Yes. All right. So, how about Sierra? Unmute.
Hi, my name's Sierra. I'm from Kentucky. I own a medical billing and business, or a medical billing and credentialing business, and also do writing on the side. I'm hoping to publish my poetry book soon as well. My inspiration comes from my daughter, which is what my story is about, and the journey that was. I had my daughter young, and of course, a lot of people usually frown on that, or they don't think that being a mother so young, you're going to have a bright future. Honestly, that's probably the best thing that happened to me was having my daughter young. And it basically just kind of goes through the challenges and, some of the fears that I had, giving birth to her and going through that experience so young. But yes, that's my story.
Thank you, Sierra. How about you, Sonia? I'm gonna unmute you because I know you're on the phone.
I'm a board certified transformational life coach, and I'm a registered nurse for over 30 years. And I wrote my unforgettable personal story I titled it The Awakening Within. And it was really me waking up after a lot of years of having being defined by my disease. It kind of took over. I have rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia, and I let it anxiety and depression, and a lot of it just took over a lot of years of my life. And I ended up in the hospital. And when I was fighting through that to stay alive and get through that, I really woke up to knowing that I can take control over my health and wellness, and emotional and physical. And that's my story to share, that I transformed. And through that experience, I want to help others and impact others as a life coach. So
Thank you,
thank you.
Sonia. What about you, Michelle?
I am a virtual assistant that lives in Indiana. I definitely jumped on this opportunity when I saw this. I've definitely always wanted to kind of share, get my story out, just because I know myself, reading other people's stories or just being able to share a little bit of my story. I've had really people touch my life and make a huge difference, to kind of realize my upbringing, how I grew up, what I saw, what I went through didn't have to be my story. This is my life to live. I don't have to follow down that path no matter what. Like, you're not stuck there. There's definitely times that I've felt stuck and didn't know if I was going to be able to better my life. Um, but through, some people that have touched my life, I was able to do that and realize that there's so much more out there in life. It's such a big world and so much to live and experience. So, um, yeah, definitely. The few people that I have kind of shared some of my background with have always been like, "You need to write a book. You need to get this out. Like, talk about it." So I definitely was like, you know what? I think it's my time. I saw this opportunity and was like, "Yep, it's my time to kind of share and hopefully inspire others." Just reading that, and just I loved reading everybody else's books, everybody else's stories too, and just being able to see the diversity and like everybody goes through so much, and it's a lot of mindset and how you decide to do that. I definitely throw myself pity parties every once in a while, and it's okay to do that and feel that. But my biggest part of like hopefully putting in there too is mindset. Don't stay stuck. Just keep thriving. We all go through hard times, and just try to take the best out of it. So yeah, that's a little bit about my story, and hopefully it can touch others as also.
All right. Thank you for sharing. How about you, Miss Ellen? Oh, let me unmute you. Ellen, can you unmute yourself? I was trying, it wasn't working.
Sorry about that. Thank you so much. As my mouth was moving, it was like a Hong Kong movie or a King Kong movie that the sound isn't corresponding with the screen. Anyways, thank you for allowing me to be here and to be a part of this incredible book. As someone else said, it really is a great book. All the stories are just amazing, and I learned so much from each one of them. I am a career banker, finance person, and I'm still in that industry. Several years ago, I became a certified life coach. It really has helped my journey as a banker when you talk to people and try to figure out what their desires are or get them to figure out what they need or want. And then I realized as you go along in life, you have a lot of different pivotal moments, and each one of those moments has a lesson for you. So basically, my little chapter in this book is about lessons that I learned in life and how it really helped me to get unstuck. So I hope everyone enjoys the book. It's a phenomenal book, as I already said, and thank you again for having me on today.
Yes, thank you for being here. And there are way more women in this book that are even represented here today. So understand that this is a collection of, unique women, unique stories. But here for the women that are here today, last but not least, Miss Helen, do you want to share with everyone a little bit about you and your chapter?
Hello, my name is Helen Gaines, and I'm here in cloudy South Florida today. And as we're preparing for this storm to come through. But I am just so thankful and grateful to be a part of this incredible anthology. And has been said, the stories are just they're so phenomenal, and they show the resilience that we have as women. My short chapter is about me going through pancreatic cancer and coming out not just a warrior, but an overcomer, but facing death and also um, joining with others that are going through that valley of cancer. Really opened up my heart. It exploded my heart with compassion. I too am a certified life coach, and it has just changed the whole direction of my coaching. And I just thank you for the opportunity with all of you beautiful women to just share in this anthology and get the word out that there is hope, that we can overcome any obstacle that we may face in our life. And it actually points or paints a beautiful tapestry when we can put all of our highs and lows together and just come out as the awesome, incredible women that we are. So thank you for joining with me. And I'm so grateful to be joining with you and writing this amazing book.
Oh, Miss Helen, we are grateful to have you and your story of survival and overcoming. Each of you have a unique story of not just surviving, but overcoming, triumphing, and turning what might have been, a negative into a positive of your strength. Even like Sierra said, something that most people might say isn't a good situation or is going to impact you in a negative way, saying, no, this is actually my strength. This is my superpower, right? This is what's going to make it different. So, and that's kind of the way we all have to be, right? We have to look at that perspective a lot of times. And what they say so commonly, and it is so true, is it's not what we walk through, what that defines us. It's really how we come out on the other end, right? How do we spend that? How do we change that? And I know myself, and I'm like you, Helen, I'm facing the storm in a way we have never faced a storm before. Because I'm in Tampa, and we have dodged the bullet for over 100 years, but everybody has to pay their price sometime. And so even as I sat down with my children last night and this morning and just telling them, as scary as it may seem, no matter what you're facing in life, inevitably what matters is that we're together and we're safe. So trying to decide sometimes what is the direct path you need to take, or am I making the right decision? Am I not making the right decision? But just really honing in on, who you are, and making those decisions to move forward and find the light and the good in difficult situations, right? Or like Sonia said, realizing I do have control over my health and my decisions and what happens to me, right? Or Jessica saying, okay, patience and taking the time and realizing, okay, this may not be the path I thought, but let's just try this anyways. So definitely thank you, Helen, for pointing out resilience. And that's really what this book is designed to show people, is that if any one of you could have given up, but the fact that you walked through it, you survived it, and now you're willing to share your story of overcoming to give people the light and the hope to do so as well. So now we're going to kind of go around again, and if you can just give either, you can choose, if you can give a point that you want to make about the overall book, or you can say something specifically about your chapter that is an overlying or underlining message that you hope readers will take from your chapter. Or maybe you just want to share the name of your chapter and what made you want to write in this book. So I'll let you choose which thing you want to talk about. But I'm going to jump over to Sierra.
I titled mine "My Little Miracle," and again, basically, it's because I think that's what took for me to open my eyes and be able to realize, hey, you've got to choose the right path in order to succeed in life, and life is not always just about yourself. And just having the joy of being able to raise a child, just really is a lot different. And I think that kind of also makes us a woman, after we give birth to our children, and really realize where our strengths are, and how to overcome our weaknesses.
All right, thank you. How about you, Michelle?
I think I want to talk kind of about like just the point kind of taking away from my chapter, a biggest thing. And I think a lot of people, like I talk about mindset, mindset is a big factor, I think, in kind of getting over that victim mentality. And when you choose you're a victim, you're powerless, you're having somebody take that away from you, and choosing your mindset and switching, whether, you're dealing with cancer or overcoming other things, taking that back and owning it and saying, what, no, like I am not powerless. I am choosing. I have a choice that I can either, be a victim, be sad, and like feel sorry for myself, or I can take this and have it make me stronger and figure out how I'm
Yes.
going to overcome this and come out the other side of this. So that is definitely just something I really want, of kind of, my upbringing until now. And, obviously life always throws you curveballs. Sometimes it could be like, you are jumping over one thing, but just remembering that, feeling that, but just remember you are not powerless. You have power, and it is up to you to figure out how you want to overcome and how you want to come out on the other side.
All right. Thank you. What about you, Miss Ellen?
Thank you. I talked about getting stuck in life. I hear so many people, especially women, say that, and it's true. Sometimes you do feel stuck and bogged down, but there's decisions that you can keep making to move forward, and it's difficult, but yet it's not. It's requires getting out of your comfort zone. It requires making changes, and sometimes asking people for help, and that's not always easy for women. So um, I think that's basically the crux of my whole chapter, and I hope everybody reads it and can identify with getting unstuck in life and finding your way home.
All right. Thank you. What about you, Miss Sonia?
Make sure I unmute. With my chapter, first of all, everybody's chapter was amazing. I just wanted to congratulate all of you beautiful women, because my heart was moved by all of you and your stories. And I just wanted to shout out to all of you about that and in the whole book. And then as far as my chapter, The Awakening Within, it really just want to share, we are in our limitations, like we are limitless. We feel like we can't, we get diagnosed with different things, or we're told different things at a certain age, no matter what it is, as a child or an adult. And I think just not believing those, limitations and beliefs that aren't true, and making them our identity, and not being defined by that, and just really learning that we can really have hope and resilience and strength, an unwavering spirit through it all, and that we can ignite our light and really transform our life into who we're meant to shine and to be, no matter what we're faced with.
All right. Thank you for that. Miss Helen?
Hello again. The name of my chapter is My Walk Through the Valley, A Journey of Grace. And one of the things, and it's my cancer story, I lost a husband, mother, and my now husband lost 2 prior wives to cancer. And so, understand community. One of the things I want to point out, and I'm sorry, my Dior is in the background. We have community. The grace was the people that were around me that loved on me, the people that are in the professions that ministered to me. And that's what it was. It was a ministry to me, but also what was inside of me, a hope, a perseverance, and a not being afraid of whatever the circumstances in life are. Fear will stagnate us. And that's one of the things that I wanted to bring out. That was something that really, in going through that, I had to grapple with it, but not in the beginning, not at the diagnosis, but it was part way through the journey. And so that's just what I want to hold. We need community. We need those that are around us. And I'll just say this, when I walked into my first infusion appointment, the dread, the fear, and the shame that is associated with cancer that I saw on the faces of those people, that's what moved me to write the story, because I said that will not be my story. So I hope you enjoy the chapter, and that you can take something to pass on to someone else that may be going through that journey or walking through that valley. Thank you again.
Thank you for sharing that. Jessica?
I am so honored to be part of this group of women. I'm getting a little bit emotional. So my chapter is called Reeling in Resilience, Healing Trauma One Cast at a Time. And I feel like it's a very heartfelt exploration on how fly fishing became a tool for healing in my own life. A lot of people may not understand that except or this, what I'm about to say, except for people who have been through life-threatening circumstances. And that's that I am so grateful I got sick. The life that I'm living now is so much more beautiful than I ever could have imagined. And I just want to say that, when we're dealt certain hands in life, we have the ability, we still have choice. We have things that we can control, and I call that my circle of influence. And then we have things that are out of our control, which is kind of like the circle of concern. But I found if I can grow my circle of influence, it makes that circle of concern much smaller. And that's what fly fishing was for me. I have this simple equation that I use in my own life, and that's that gratitude plus joy equals resilience. And I feel like as long as we're filling our cups of gratitude and our cups of joy, we have unbounding resilience to bend and flex to what life has to offer. So in my chapter, I did give like actionable reasons why fly fishing was healing for me, but it wasn't about fly fishing more than that. Like it includes stuff like mindfulness, connection to nature, physical activity, routine, stimulation of my senses, community, and goal setting and achievement, which increased my circle of influence and made me feel like I did have choice and power in the situation that I was dealt. So again, super excited to be part of this anthology and being part of just a group of women that are so incredible and resilient and have such beautiful stories to tell. So thank you so much.
All right. And we have a new author that joined us. Hi. I'm so glad you were able to jump in. So, would you like to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about why you decided to write in this book, and a little bit about your chapter? Here, let me.
Right. And this, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, got it. So I'm Niorka Cordovan, and I lived in New Jersey, and I decided to.
It's a lot. I know this book is emotional, but it's beautiful.
I have never spoken about this.
Yeah, the story.
Yes. And in the background, it was always there. So when I saw the title, I said, I want to write about this. Yeah. Because even though it was hidden from my view, it was an opportunity for me to bring it into the surface and tell the world of we as women, and not women, children, okay, how we are not protected. And not protected, not because of our parents, even the governments do not protect us. Okay, so my chapter talks about breaking the silence, a journey of courage and survival. So my story talks about me arriving into the United States at 14 years old with no money, no this, no that, and I had an idea to relieve my father's pain by deciding to get married at the age of 15. And in the state of New Jersey, you couldn't get married at the age of 15 unless your parents authorized you. Like I had to go through a legal process, and I did that. And the court allowed me to get married. So what a 15-year-old really know? Now, culturally, my parents, my mother was 16, my father was 20 when they got married. And for them, that was okay, But it was not okay for me. I remember the fear of being in my wedding dress, ready to go to church, and I was just wanted to like run away. And I was not even afraid of what my father was going to say. I was more afraid of what he was going to do to me if I didn't show up to the altar. And all the things that I fear start breaking up within days of being married, and trying to figure it out and juggle how to exit that without too much, negative things to happen. And yeah, and the funny thing is, I hidden this for a very long time, not because of shame. It's just that I took it like it was a part of my life. And I was very brave that I overpassed that and I became a total new human. But really looking at what the statistics are is amazing, because while writing this book, I did some research, and I'm so broken about it, because we talk about, maybe in the United States we think that this happened in other countries, but this happens right here. If you're not aware, in my chapter I talk about that only 10 states, okay, have laws against women getting married before the age of 18. And it's not like you turn 18 and all of a sudden you became a woman, by the way. That's not the way it happens. But to the other extreme, there are 5 states that don't have age limits. So if you have daughters and you think about that, imagine you live in one of those states that your 10-year-old girl could have authority to get married. Like, that's like unthinkable. Unthinkable. So in my chapter, I provide a lot of resources, because I want every child that is in that age of 14 to 18 to really be able to understand and reach out what the consequences are. Like, I was one of the lucky ones, but in that sense, they get pregnant, they don't go to school, not only that, in the system, if you are not 18, you don't get all the benefits of being an adult. So you cannot even enter a shelter. Even when you want to leave, you cannot enter a shelter. Imagine that. So I thought that writing this is like, I hope my voice helps someone. If it really helps one person, it's good enough. But if it helps thousands, I think I'll put a little bit of what's possible out there for them to be able to understand what this is all about. And I'm sorry, I'm all messy.
That's okay. Can you tell everybody, because I know, just because I know you from other projects, but what you do now as a profession, and how successful you have come overcoming your difficult beginnings?
So I share my story. Part of the requirements that the state of New Jersey allowed me to get married is that I couldn't leave high school. I always loved studying. And what really put my marriage after 9 months over the edge, it was that I was studying for an exam, and he had a tantrum and he broke my books. And in that moment, I decided this is it. That's it. Today's day, I'm a very successful professional. Right after that, I studied accounting and finance. I was a CFO in corporate America in the 80s and 90s. I broke the glass ceiling. I work for big corporation. I own multiple businesses right now. I hide a lot, by the way. It's not like I think I'm working through this. I'm successful, but people when see you successful is the online successful. I'm not in the online successful. You know what I mean? I have a wall full of diplomas, I mean, I can show you. I don't know if you see
Yeah,
it all
she
over the
really
place.
is. And she is such a voice to women about understanding their finances, growing their finances,
Yeah. So I
becoming
think,
into their finances. And so, I mean, she is such a testament to a woman who came from another country, who had nothing, who was, intentionally idea was she was going to be suppressed and do what her family and what everyone else told her to do. And she stood up and said, no, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to make my life successful. And thank you for sharing your story. And I know each of you, your stories are so inspiring. The things you had to walk through, most people would have given up or just
yeah, and it's an internal job.
Mhm.
I mean, I have a book that I wrote is Begin from Within, because it's an internal job. We're always looking outside, but you really need to look out inside.
Yeah.
And me looking at this story opened up a whole new thing for me, because I feel like we have so much to offer, each one of us. And for me, I dedicated my life, to do finances. But my next thing is really to teach women the intricacies of money. I want them to be able, money is not a bad thing. As a matter of fact, when they say money this, money that, I love money because money can give you so much freedom. And it's freedom of purpose, which is one of the freedoms that I teach. The freedom of purpose is because, I feel like sometimes like people think, no, my purpose, what is my purpose? Money can give you a purpose, like something like this. Supporting an organization that helps women not to get married when they're not supposed to, or to exit a marriage that is not good, even when you're not 15, 16, 17, a minor, even when you are grown up, having that opportunity, because sometimes we feel like we're stuck. So me teaching women about money is like, I want them to know that they can have it all and they can move and do whatever they need to do to end whatever doesn't work in their life.
Yeah. Well, I think the idea of not defining, not allowing the world to define us, it flows through all of these stories, right? Sonia and Helen and Jessica all talking about not allowing, the health to define you, right? Um, and Ellen and Michelle and Sierra, that no matter what life throws at you, that it doesn't have to define you, right? That inner workings, that inner voice, like you said, is what defines you.
Yeah, and I'm a vivid example of that. I was a political refugee. The government of Cuba left my mother behind. I got married when I was 15. So I have all the obstacles that a woman could say. I was a single mother of 3 kids. I was, I can make a list. Domestic violence, So when I hear women that they have so many obstacles that they put themselves, I'm not saying that it's not valid. It is valid, but there's a way out. And when they talk about, no, because you don't understand my life, I said, come on, what are you going to throw me that I have not been through? Like,
Yeah.
seriously, and it's an internal, even me sharing about this, I become emotional because I didn't really relate to it the way I thought that I was really relating to it. So putting it on paper, open up a new way of me relating to it, taking a stand, okay,
Yeah.
for it, helping women because we don't say, we're so ashamed that sometimes, and I'm not talking about children now, I'm talking about adult women that are in abusive relationships. We
Yeah.
get ashamed and we don't say it, we don't confide, we don't try to get out of it because we feel stuck. And yes, and that's not my mission 100%. My mission is really to teach women about money. But I do support, I'm a board member of an organization, which I explained in my story, that they share about confronting domestic violence.
Yeah.
And the confronting comes from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the shame is not just with that story. I think with all stories as women, just by our nature, we carry a level of shame or hesitation, right? Because we wear so many hats, but we're supposed to always be the happy wife. We're supposed to always be the happy mother. We're supposed to be the one that holds the glue together. We're supposed to be the happy, supportive friend, and trying to sometimes be all those different things, we often lose ourselves and forget that we're not feeding ourselves correctly, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And so this book I think can attest to that. Like, the reason each one of you, no matter what you walked through, were able to overcome is because you had to really find your true self again, feed that inner worth and spirit and soul so that you could walk through it and come out the other end. And that these stories are designed to be motivational, inspirational, and guiding in that way. And so thank each and every one of you for being here today. Thank each of you for pushing through in your lives, and being brave enough to not only overcome and push through, but being brave enough to share your journey and story, to help inspire, motivate other women that it is possible. And each one of these women have also shared their contact information inside this book. Each one of these women are also coaches and leaders and guiders and helpers in some way or fashion in their profession as well. And if their story resonates with you, if their journey, their mission resonates with you and their messaging, the purpose of their contact information being there is because they are willing to help and work with you. So don't ever feel like, oh my gosh, that was such an emotional story. She's such an amazing person. I wish I could contact her. Guess what? You can. The information's right there. And please, please reach out because they have been vulnerable. They have been brave, but they are existing today, and they were willing to write in this book so they could help guide you as well. You can get this book now in the ebook form on Amazon. Very soon, it'll not just be an ebook, it'll be in paperback out to all the major retailers, and you'll be able to purchase it there as well. All these women have a presence on social media. If you can see them beautiful faces here, you can connect with them. So thank you, ladies, for taking time today on a Tuesday to be here. And they are all very busy women. But they took the time out to be here today to let you know their story, their vision, and their message. And so we're going to round robin really quick, 20 seconds or less, just one little piece of inspiration that you can leave the people with today. And then please, I'm going to put links in the descriptions or comments for each one of these posts today. Go and get your copy. So Sierra, one little last bit of inspiration to leave our listeners with.
You can do anything you put your mind to and never give up.
Thank you. Miss Helen.
Yes, thank you. As a new grandmother, I'm looking at everything through the eyes of a child, and it's so rewarding. They're so innocent. They're a blank slate, and there's so much joy in learning there. And I think if we all step back and take that same pose, that we would be so much more excited about life.
All right, Miss Sonia.
Sorry. I just want to say, everyone out there, you are loved, you are mattered, you are enough, you are worthy of everything, and just keep shining and enjoy the day.
Thank you, Miss Helen.
My signature is keep hope alive.
Love it. Thank you, Miss Michelle.
Oh man, I'm sorry to get emotional now. If you're feeling stuck, just think this will not be my story. If you are stuck somewhere you do not want to be, this is not my story. This is not where this ends. So
great point. Miss Nurika.
Courage is one step away. Take that step.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. Miss Jessica.
So I would just say that no matter how heavy your life's burdens may feel, there's always a path to healing and growth.
All right. Well, thank you all again for being here. You've gotten me emotional. It's not easy to do, just so you know. And I definitely needed to hear each one of your messages today. So thank you for your time. And everybody, please go out and get your copy of my Unforgettable Personal Stories. Not only get it and read it, leave a review so these women know your thoughts and feelings. Reach out to them, contact them if their chapter just speaks to you directly. And congratulations, ladies. I am so excited to be part of your journey. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank